My name is Andrew. Due to a reason, currently, I live life in a wheelchair. The reason is, 3 years ago, I got in an accident and damaged my spinal cord. My entire lower body became paralyzed. I got hit by a truck trying to save my wife Kai, who jumped out of a red light crosswalk. But then a few months later, after a long period of rehabilitation, just when it was decided that I could go back to my life,
Because I could have someone else I like? So, can you divorce me right now?
what are you talking about? You're kidding, right?
I'm not saying this as a joke, am I? Look, I also have the divorce papers. I'm going to take these to the city hall, so write your name here right away.
Don't be kidding. I was finally able to leave the hospital. And yet, just then, you say you want to get divorced?
That's why, if I don't do something, you're gonna come home, right? I'm living with my boyfriend in the apartment you used to live in. If you came back, I'd have to kick him out.
What? How dare you do that while I was in the hospital? I bought that apartment with my own money.
I'll take the condo instead of alimony. You're going to need a lot of care anyway, so why don't you go live with someone else?
Are you seriously saying that?
Oh, come to think of it, your parents died early and you have no relatives, right? I guess it's impossible for you to do that then.
You've gotta be kidding me. I'm never leaving. Besides, I haven't even granted the divorce yet.
I don't have a choice. I'll find someone to take care of you then. I'm sure you'd like a young woman, wouldn't you? Even with a body like that, you still have a strong libido, don't you?
Listen to me. God damn it. You don't get to decide what I do with my life. I didn't go through rehab just to end up like this. A few days later, she brought before me my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law Denise is 24 years old, 6 years younger than Kai. Since she was 15 years old, she's been a shut-in at my in-laws' house. She's a quiet, brooding woman. Actually, I myself have never met my sister-in-law in person. Some years ago, Kai showed me a photo of Denise's middle school days. I only knew that much, but what was in front of me was far from the pretty figure in the photo of that time. Now, she's a small, dirty, and shabbily dressed woman. She was a giant weighing 198 pounds.
Why have you been silent for a while? You're going to live with her from now on. Just say hello.
Say hello? You've gotta be kidding me. When did I ask you to let me live with Denise? Just hurry up and take her home.
I'm sorry. I am sorry.
Well, I'm not mad at you.
You can't do that. Don't suddenly speak loudly. This kid is mentally ill. She's going to panic right away.
Mentally ill?
Oh, yeah. That's why I had to take her out of her room. We had a hard time, didn't we, Dad?
Yeah. She got so violent that I just couldn't help myself. But, Denise, it's your fault to begin with. Because you didn't listen to me and the others.
I'm sorry. I am sorry. I'm sorry. Jeez. She's still as gloomy as ever. I'm so glad I don't have to see you again.
A closer look at Denise's face. Her eyes are purple and swollen, hidden by her long bangs. And there was a faint red blotch of blood from a cut on her lip. And yet, I don't see any remorse or even guilt from those who inflicted those wounds. Kai and my father-in-law. I wondered why Denise became mentally ill at this time, but now I seem to understand a little bit why.
Then we're leaving, so the rest is up to the two of you. Get along well, okay?
I've prepared a special place for you. I have a note of the address and a key to the front door in this envelope.
My daughter's leaving you for someone richer, so please don't show your face in front of my daughter again.
Apparently, long before my accident, Kai had a man with whom she had a physical relationship. Even when I was in the hospital, on the verge of death, Kai kept seeing her lover. At that time, Kai, who thought her husband was beyond saving, chose to be with the other man without hesitation. And even after I regained consciousness, her parents now saw me as an obstacle, who then decided to ostracize me. I didn't care about that anymore. I didn't have a shred of love left for that woman, and so there was no room to think about starting over with her. More than that, my biggest concern is my sister-in-law Denise. I will think about the sanctions against Kai and my parents-in-law later. I felt that the first priority was to take care of Denise, who was hurt by being abandoned by her family. I took Denise, who remained mute, and went to the address written on the note that Tom gave me. It was an old wooden apartment building that looked as if it had been there for several decades and might collapse at any moment. Of course, the rent was ours. There were no fancy furniture, no exchange of clothes. The layout of the room was about 600 square feet and had one bedroom. There was no partition between me and Denise, so at that time, I really didn't think I could make it in a place like this. I was really worried about how Denise and I would get along in such a place.
Don't worry, I will try not to cause you any trouble as much as possible.
What? Denise? You can speak?
Of course I can. It's not that I can talk. I just don't talk much.
I see, but I was a little surprised.
Was it that surprising that I talked? But I'm certainly more talkative than usual today. I'm sorry. I'm just so happy to finally be free from them.
What surprised me was not that you could speak normally, but rather the bright and cheerful expression on your face. I had heard from Kai that you're mentally ill, so I had imagined you to have a darker and meaner personality. But you don't look like that at all.
That's just the way I pretended to be in front of them. Otherwise, they would have hurt me.
What? What do you mean by that?
I didn't become a shut-in because I wanted to. I've been under house arrest by those guys since I was 15.
House arrest? Why would you say that?
Well, that's...
Denise says that the reason she was put under house arrest at my in-law's house was because of the jealousy directed towards her by her sister Kai. Denise in middle school didn't look like that fat person I see today. She was a beautiful girl who everyone envied, and her grades were always at the top of the class. She was compared to her older sister, Kai, who was mediocre in both looks and grades. However, it is often said that a foolish child is more precious. My in-laws did not appreciate Denise's talent and effort. They always loved her older sister. And then one day, Kai told her parents something that was not true that made them hate Denise. Denise, of course, had no idea what she was talking about. She insisted over and over again that it was all a lie. But this only served to provoke her parents' anger. Ultimately, Denise, in order to not to be compared to her sister, was forced to live under house arrest for 10 years without being able to continue her education.
10 whole years. I pretended to be crazy, but it was worth it. Now, I can finally be free.
I didn't know that was possible. Okay, I get it. I'll also do my best so that you'll be able to get back the 10 years that you lost. I will support you as much as I can.
What? Support? What do you mean?
Well, like taking care of your food expenses until you find a job. Don't worry about it. You know, I've got a lot of money saved up. If my application is approved, I'll soon get disability benefits.
Oh, no. I'm fine with money. It's true that I've hardly left the house for 10 years, but I had a good job.
What? Actually, she used a laptop when she was in middle school to study. She then saved up some money by writing and working as a virtual assistant. She never transferred the money to her bank account, so her sister and parents never found out about it. By the way, the amount is over $20 million. That's more than 5 times the amount of my savings that I accumulated bit by bit.
Let's make this place a temporary home for the time being. Then, let's rent a new house as soon as possible. But it must be difficult for you to live here in a wheelchair.
What? You're going to live with me? Not renting your own room?
What are you talking about? You just started living in a wheelchair, right? At least until you get used to your current state, I'll help take care of you. It's the least I can do to repay you for giving me the opportunity to leave that house.
What? It's nothing.
Oh, that's right. I'll do my best to lose weight from now on. I'm going to get my hair and eyebrows done. I'll even wear better clothes. So please be patient a little longer.
At this time, I had no idea what patience meant. But a few months after Denise started her diet, I understood the meaning of those words. She meant, I'll be clean soon, so don't touch me until then. As proof, Denise continued her diet. As Denise continued her diet, she was transformed into a stunning beauty. And when Denise weighed less than 110 pounds, we spent a night together for the first time. However, due to the after effects of the accident, I had no sensation in my lower body. With my eyes, ears, and hands, I was able to enjoy the sensation of her body. But anyway, at this time, I was already so fascinated by Denise's beauty and intelligence. Denise loved me as a man, not as her brother-in-law. I guess you could say it was a natural progression for us to become husband and wife. However, about 3 months after Denise and I registered our marriage, an unwanted visitor came to our love nest. A year ago, she left me paralyzed in the lower half of my body, and even took away my safe place of residence.
Help me! I'm being chased by debt collectors. They're going to sell me out.
I don't understand what you're talking about. At any rate, why don't you tell me what's going on?
I don't need to know what happened. You were probably cheated on by some guy, right?
What? Who are you? Why is there another woman in the house?
It doesn't matter. Just tell me what's going on.
Alright. Actually,
Kai told me that soon after I divorced her, Tom died of brain cancer. And shortly thereafter, it was discovered that the company Tom had run before his death was found to have debts in excess of $100 million. With Tom's death, the banks and others that had financed it up to that point pulled out of the business, one after the other. Tom's company went bankrupt, leaving only a large amount of debt. If it is only money borrowed from the bank, It can be written off if you file bankruptcy, but unfortunately, Tom had borrowed more than 10 million bucks. As a result, Kai started a new life with another man in my apartment, with debt collectors coming to that apartment every day. Finally, her affair partner and Dina were taken into custody by a debt collector and sent to a sweatshop.
It was your own fault. Still can't forget the good times and you're still living in the lap of luxury.
Don't act like you know what you're talking about. You're a stranger. What do you know?
I know most things. Besides, I'm not a stranger.
Oh, come on. You still don't get it, do you? Even though she has lost some weight and become more beautiful, you've been watching her since you were a kid. She's your own sister.
No way.
Hi. It's been a while. You hated me and harassed me through and through. I had a mental breakdown. I'm your little sister, Denise.
Oh? You're Denise? You look so much better than you did before I locked you in your room.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to let you know. Denise and I got married.
Oh, yeah? Married?
Yeah, that's right. That's why I can't let him take you in. Alright, get the hell out of here.
I'm sorry. That's just the way it is.
Wait a minute. You got married, you said?
Oh, I forgot to tell you one more thing. Your sister? She's a much better woman than you are. Compared to this perfect woman, I can see why you would be jealous. In the end, no matter what you do, you're doomed to be a lesser version of your own sister. I feel sorry for you. I don't really feel bad for you, though. Kai groaned and went away. We first learned of her movements after that from the police. We got word that Kai had jumped off the roof of a building. They said that Kai had been forced to work in the sex trade to pay off her debts. So she may have chosen to take her own life. Or maybe because she was constantly compared to her younger sister, she may have been devastated by the fact that she could never win. But now, no one can stand in the way of a peaceful and happy life for me and Denise. My mind is now more free, much freer than when I could walk freely on my own 2 feet. Since the other day, Denise and I started going to see an obstetrician to have a child through an artificial insemination. Denise and I have also started to work using our computers. I am ready to embrace my child. The happiness with my loving second wife will continue unchanged.
Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. We look forward to seeing you again. Please subscribe to our channel.